Why hello there friends, it's for Admiral Revan here. Thank you so much everybody for tuning in to this video. This is the latest dev blog video for, well, this year so far, for 11.1 and 11.2. And there's been some interesting developments going on in World of Warships. I want to start off by saying a big thank you to everyone out there for your support and everything. It has been fantastic. I am now officially a World of Warships community contributor, and I just started off this week. My first stream as a community contributor is actually happening this weekend. So basically I'm looking forward to it, doing some giveaways and prizes for everyone, and thank you so much for your support, kind words and everything, and it is great to be here. So what does this mean in moving forward though? Well, there'll be giveaways, and the more support I get, and the more giveaways I will provide, as well as, you know, hitting those milestones of follower goals and anniversaries, birthday, special events, things like that. Everyone will be able to be entitled to get something out of it, as they say, out of a piece of a pie. So we have to be very humble about it, because like it's actually a very, very good opportunity. And I want to start off by saying thanks Wargaming for putting me on to the CC program, and to the viewers out there, a big huge thank you from me to you for your support and everything. So we're looking forward to starting this off with a bit of a dev blog video, and well, let's have fun, that's for sure. Alright, so here we are in the dev blog video, starting off with a bit of an interesting development story. Okay, as you know, that there's been some interesting developments going on in 11.0 since the release, and most of the release news is about in regard to the asymmetric battles. We were looking forward to that, but that has been put on hold at the moment, because there's been some little bit of bad news actually, unfortunately, that has happened with the actual amount of ships that's supposed to be spawned in there. It's supposed to be balanced, but it seems to be more bot ships than actual player ships, so hopefully they'll be resolved soon in the near future. With that being said though, I mean, like, there's been some interesting news about the Azuma Collectors Edition that has been announced, and most recently. So the Azuma Collectors Edition is coming out. Basically it will have a 10-point commander with the flag, and also of course the ship itself. Very good warship though, if you're interested in collecting these sort of things. It is expensive for collecting the bundle of it, but the original ship design on its own with 3-point commander is actually still the way to go. So it really comes down to like what suits your fancy. But I have to admit, the Dalian Cruiser has been a fantastic warship all around. The bundle for it is actually pretty good, but as I said, you know, 34,450 doubloons is quite expensive. But getting the ship on its own, to spend like $100 Australian, is still very nice, and you still got like a little bit of time of 5 days to get it. So time is running out. The Azuma package is 12 days. So honestly, anything can happen between now and then. So anyways, let the good times roll. And the Dalian, very nice, you know, Pan-Asian cruiser. It is actually pretty decent. I mean, like, it is a warship that was put together between the Russians and the Republic of China back in the MK6 project. It was been pretty much, you know, like one of the prehistoric ships back in the 1950s, and this ship was pretty much launched back in the 1950s in preparation for, you know, the wars that I had back then, but it was designed purely and simply, you know, for counterattacking its enemy counterparts. So honestly, it's a very nice, decent warship. The history behind it is actually very nice. It looks like similar to the Enchant, if you're interested in that sort of history. But I have to admit, just by looking at it, it actually, you know, looks pretty cool. The guns itself is actually pretty decent. It's got 10 130mm 60 guns. Also 4 triple tubes for those torpedoes. So it's 2 on each side, and also lots of secondaries and any aircraft defense. Very well mounted in this warship though for its class, and it's actually very good overall. There's a lot of cool things about it that I thought was pretty decent all around. So yeah, I think you'll like it, generally speaking. The main armaments are modification, engine room, the propulsion, concealment. Also main battery modification is actually pretty decent all around as well too. The key features about this ship is basically that it's got, a good high rate of fire, and with the 4 triple tube torpedo bays, it's very handy. And the very funny thing about it is that it's not deep water, it's actually shallow. So basically, when you're fighting against the enemy, the ship itself can sink any destroyers or cruisers with its shallow torpedoes, as well as battleships and carriers. So if you're used to deep water torpedo ships on the Pan-Asian line, or the Japanese Sasho, for example, well, be careful when you see the Dalian. Dalian, to me, when I first played it, it is a very unique warship in its own right. And it has pretty much a good, smoke generator with a reduced cooldown timer, but the repair part is pretty decent. And the maneuverability in this thing is pretty cool. And the firepower in this thing is nice with its HE, but I have been finding that most recently, after some testing on my own, I've been finding that the AP is not that really strong against the cruisers, even if it's a broadside, even though if you know the weakness and how you hit it, that sort of thing. But HE starting is actually very good. Destroyers don't like you. They really don't, but it's actually pretty cool overall. I think you'll like it, generally speaking, though. Alright. So, the Dalian itself can be obtained in the Armory and Premium Shop. More details about that is on there. I mean, the costing for it is pretty expensive, but I would recommend, if you're interested in getting it, definitely buy the $100 pack, which is for the 19,300. You won't regret it because it's got good camo as it is. It may not have this lovely dragon camo that they have for the lunar event, but it does have decent sized camo, and also the ship itself is pretty, fun to play with anyways. If you are interested in trying to take a gamble and trying to get a tier 9 Sejong and then out of the loot boxes, feel free to do so. It is actually pretty interesting. When you do get the Sejong, I will do a separate video about the Sejong another time. But this is just, an opportunity to discuss about the Pan-Asian Cruiser random bundle. As I said, they can get some definitely camos and unlock some warships along the way. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. With a chance to get the Sejong. And if you get the Sejong, you'll love it. I know you will. The other Pan-Asian cruisers like the Ramet, Harbin, Jinan is actually very nice. They're all pretty good. To fork out 20,000 doubloons for the Jinan, oof. I don't know why they've done it, but honestly, I think the only criticism I can give constructively about that is that they pretty much just want more hand over fist or pocket out of money, but that's okay. I mean, it is, after all, a free-to-play game with an opportunity to get some decent ships if you wanted to. But for people who love whaling and actually forking out the money to do so, feel free to get it. But yeah, you can get some decent tokens with the flags and also camos, and also unlock certain ships along the way. As you can see here, that as the more tokens you get, the more opportunity you can get in unlocking the ships in this order. All of them have good camos and definite, you know, outfits and stuff. But towards the end, again, the Sejong, the Jinan, sorry, is 20,000 doubloons, and that's a lot of doubloons to spend it on. So it's up to you. But there's also a discussion about the Lighthouse event, and the Lighthouse event. Ooh.
May I come in? I would of course prefer a game of preference. But if you're insisting...
How's the meeting going, Willie?
Commodore Gradov is in talks now.
Listen, the auction goes from February 10 until 14. The highest bids win. The final number of winners is shared between all 4 servers. The main lot is Destroyer Gremyashchy.
And there is more.
How did you pull this off?
May I come in?
Commodore Gradov is in talks now.
Place your bets.
Well, there you have it. That is Gremyashchy. Well, I call it the Grem anyway. But you can have the opportunity to grab this ship if you wanted to. Now, mind you that whoever has the highest bids will be able to get it. But it also will be entitled to other stuff that's on there as well. To do with the coal. I think it's a commander of some kind anyway. Let's just have a quick look. But it is actually pretty nice though. Let me just bring it up for you. But it is actually pretty cool. So here's the auction. So basically the auction is lasting for at least a couple of days or so. So you get, place a bid of a minimum of 10,000 doubloons if you wanted to get this tier 5 warship. Or get the navigator, the commander. Or the coal. Or the Moscow commemorative flag, but they're all, optional if you wanted to do. There's no bonus for them actually, but this is just a collector's edition item if you want it. And honestly, having a commander is nice. Coal is always handy to have. But yeah, I just felt much by thinking about it. Yeah, it's just like straightforward. I mean, like if you want to do it. And also the Ship's Log Lantern Festival. This is actually something that has been going on for a little while. Also, Valentine's Day is coming around the corner. So if you're into Valentine's Day, well, good luck to those who love Valentine's Day events, because now's an opportunity for you to sit back, relax, and do so. And pretty much here's the Valentine's Day commemoration that you're all familiar with. And it'll be pretty much fantastic all in the long run for you to enjoy. If you're not participating on the News from Front event, make sure you redeem your possible free container, and you might get some nice rewards. You never know, you might win a Siliwangi out of it, out of the containers. Like, these containers are random, so definitely good luck. And this week's operation is obviously Raptor Rescue. So good luck everybody for the operation of the week. Raptor Rescue is very simple. It's a tier 6 operation. It's fun, it's challenging, and dynamic. And basically you can play with cruisers, carriers, destroyers, and battleships. It's actually different gameplay style. It's fun and definitely worthwhile getting involved into. The Raptor Rescue ship will be positioned over here in the middle, and it will actually navigate its way to either the north, west, or south. And basically you have to defend it, protect it at all costs, and repel against the enemy attacks. The bonus objectives are very simple. You have to kill the carriers, and also keep the escort ships alive, and obviously get the Raptor across this finishing line. Keep in mind though that as you get closer towards the finishing line, that there are islands located at the corner of the map here that has the bad advice captain there, and the paper boat. If it's there, it does appear, and now you can hit by torpedoes. If you hit it with torpedoes, you will get a coin as a reward, and basically some sort of achievement that comes out of it too as well. So that's pretty a handy operation to have fun on and enjoy yourself. Now, the dev blogs, woof. I mean, like, the dev blogs is pretty full on. There's a lot of information to go through today, but I mean, like, I will try and summarize it as fast as possible for you in this video. So, the upcoming details about the SuperCarriers as well as the Hornet. Now, as you know, the United States, the Eagle are coming out with jet planes, as well as the Hornet is coming out. It's a Yorktown class aircraft carrier that we're looking forward to, and it will become a premium warship for you to obtain. Now, there's some things about it that is actually being updated a fair bit, but we are looking forward to it. That also is one of the carriers that historically was part of the Doolittle raid, which is fantastic as far as history goes. It also is the same aircraft carrier that was found in the Battle of Midway, and a lot of historical events that soon followed afterwards. So the Hornet is a very nice warship to get. If you don't have the Enterprise, get the Hornet, because like it's still a good warship to get. But yeah, in the tech tree, you definitely have the Lexington, so that's alright. Still good though. Alright, the one thing as we go with this video, there'll be a lot of new updates coming out as we discuss about it in the long term. So I'm gonna go with it back to front here and keep you up to date. So there's going to be some balance changes going on happening with the Hanover, Satsuma, Eagle, United States. As you can see, that they're being tweaked up a fair bit in terms of like the amount of salvos, as well as like reload time, as well as the jet aircraft in terms of aiming, preparing, and attacking, and the angle of attack has been improved as well. And it's making it more and more comfortable for the players like you and me to have fun with them. And honestly, it is a work in progress for both the SuperCarriers, the United States, and the Eagle. One thing that we noticed with the Eagle, that has the maximum vertical and horizontal spread of jet attack aircraft's aiming reticle was reduced in order to increase gameplay comfort. So that's actually pretty interesting with the latest developments. The Feng Yang and the Smasher, so basically the Feng Yang is got its the massive AP, and the HE shells has been increased for the damage for the AP shells from 1900 to 2050 at this stage, and these changes are aimed at improving the baseline penetration and ballistic stats of both shell types, while also emphasizing the role of AP as the main ammunition for these two destroyers, and that is a work in progress. And the Mackinson and the Prince Heinrich very good battleships. They basically have changed their, well, detection range for the hydroacoustics a little bit lower than it was before, from 5.5 to 5 kilometers, as well as torpedo detection from 3.75 to 3.6. The Zeton, as well as the Prince Rupert patch and the Shiflin, same idea. They reduced the hydroacoustic search, and also they have reduced the torpedo range detection as well. So that's actually a very interesting change they've been going through. The Shiflin is a reload time for 105mm secondary armament has increased from 3 to 3.2 seconds. So that's actually pretty interesting when they did that tweak, as well as with the reload time for 150mm secondary armament increased from 6.7 to 7.1. I hope it'll be good. I mean, like, we'll see. We'll see how things go. The one thing I can say about the Sheflin is that we know that it's going to get nerfed at some point. And I can see it happening with the way they've been talking about it anyways. The Nakhimov, that the Soviet aircraft carrier, it has been reduced to 7. So it should be an interesting result. I do remember that the Nakhimov does pack a punch, and I can tell you this now from memory that when the Nakhimov first came out, it can definitely deliver a very solid blow on the warships at long range, especially the battleships, and hit a Bulgon with taking out at least a quarter of its health. And that's pretty decisive, firepower from the Nakhimov. The Incomparable is actually, there's an issue that was raised about it, that they have decreased the ship's acceleration when the engine boost consumable was active, so that'll be an interesting change. The US Tier 9 Black warship, the DD, the surveillance radar action time has been reduced from 22 seconds to 19 seconds, so that's actually going to be interesting how the duration for it has been reduced. Also, the Henry is actually getting some tweaks of its own, which is interesting. The time it takes to go at full speed has been reduced from 70 to 60 seconds, and while moving in reverse to 50 seconds. So that's interesting. Everything that you're seeing here right now in this part here is really interesting, because you got the Otago's, the ARP Takeo, and the Maya. They're talking about like how long it takes to get the ship going fast and moving forward and backwards, and it has been reduced a little bit. The Leon, same idea, while moving. So basically, they wanted to stipulate about what it can use it for. So that's the Italian destroyers at Tier 6, and then the British American supercarriers, and also the Nakhimov, Audacious, and Midway. They have improved. I don't think the word improved. I think it's a bit of a bit of letdown actually. But they have made that adjustment to 60 seconds. So we'll see. Scharnhorst, and the acceleration is slightly worsened when the engine is damaged. Tone saying the acceleration is slightly improved when the engine is damaged. So the Tone, Hashidat, Chengang, and the Vaklin, the Tone, Hashidat, and Chengang, it was basically have it improved the engine when it's slightly damaged, but worsened on the Vaklin. So interesting how they're doing it with this. So pretty much that anything is subject to change in that. World of Warships itself has been going through a lot of changes itself, okay? And I'm not gonna lie to you that a lot of things that you're seeing and reading about or hearing about what World of Warships has been going through, it has gone through a lot of positive changes. And you know, the good thing about it all is that they have acknowledged that, you know, in some countries that you need to be at least 18 years of age to confirm it when you're purchasing your stuff online, which is pretty good. But I will admit, just by looking at it, it is actually an interesting how things are panning out in the World of Warships community. And I think that they're taking our serious feedback very seriously this time for a change. But this is a work in progress. Everything that you're seeing that's happening right now is a bit of a win-win scenario. And I know that Wargaming has been taking a very, very long time in putting this together and making sure it's going to work. And I'm really proud to say that Wargaming is actually doing a good job putting this all together now. As you know, that the waterline videos are very handy for those broadcasts and updates, and they keep you up to date with the plans and what's going on, which is pretty nice, you know. It actually keeps you up to date with the roadmap for 2022. And the most recent announcements they made on it has been pretty good and well received. Some of it has good, some of it's bad, but they are bringing back, you know, certain things that, you know, like operations and, you know, visual effects and things like that, you know, going forward, that they have intentions to make things better. Convoy mode will be back again at some point later this year. I think it's around about summertime 2022. If they're talking about their summertime, I believe that is around about June, July, August for us here in Australia and New Zealand. So basically, those in the southern hemisphere countries will be experiencing winter by then, but that's okay. I mean, like, there's a lot of opportunities for us to check it out in the near future anyhow. Also, there's a Pan American battleship Atlantico, which is pretty cool. And honestly, it's a good opportunity for us to sit back, relax, and enjoy ourselves. And did you know that there's a Spanish warship tier 6 called a Canarias? It is a cruiser, so that's actually going to be worthwhile getting in the near future. So yeah, it's actually going to be fun. Now, with that being said, as you know, that 11.1 is coming out very soon in terms of relatively the patch and stuff. It is actually a bit of an interesting change. So honestly, anything can happen. I was actually checking out one particular thing that people want to talk about, and that is when is the actual announcement of the latest patch release that's happening. So let's have a look. I'm quickly grabbing that information right now for you actually. So going to World of Warships Gamers Blogs website, and I'm going to quickly bring it up. So here it is, the countdown for the global servers. Looks like the next update for 11.1 is actually coming out in less than 4 days away. So 4 days is not too far away. They had talking about it for next week, so it's definitely next week, folks. This week coming up. So good luck, everybody, for the actual official update. If you're interested in finding out more information on that sort of thing, it's on my Twitch channel. Basically, what you need to do is basically go to my Twitch channel and look for recommended links, and basically here you are, right there. Just click on World of Warship Gamers Blogs. It'll take you to that website, and like this, and you can search the information you want, and yeah, it's actually pretty informative. It actually tells you what like the other events and stuff that's going on as well too, so it's pretty handy for you to just have fun and enjoy yourself. Alrighty then, so there's a lot of interesting things going on. The game has improved, dramatically in terms of graphics and everything, and it's awesome. The Huron is a lovely European destroyer at tier 7. Got some interesting maneuvers, camo, and everything with it, so it's going to be pretty good. There's going to be some balancing changes coming up for the Zao, Petro, and FD Roosevelt. It's interesting when they talk about that because I don't think they need any changes. But hey, I mean, like, they may tweak one thing one patch and they tweak another thing another patch. But we'll see how things pan out. There's a new map in development called the Faroe Islands. That's actually going to be cool. They're planning to release it, the live server update of this, in summertime this year in 2022. That's actually going to be pretty cool. So we'll see how it pans out. That's for sure. Because like, I love the lookout on this map as it is. The glaciers, the islands. Yeah, it looks awesome. It looks awesome. Alrighty then, so okay, so the Italian destroyers, the first rogue wave is coming up really soon. As you can tell, that this is actually pretty intense, just by looking at it. Let's see. It's interesting though. I'm just triple checking about this. Sorry about that, folks. I mean, like, I noticed that it is pretty informative though. Okay. Yeah, okay, so it looks like the Italian destroyers, part 1's coming out soon in 11.2, which is not this patch, which is the patch afterwards. So basically, I guess how it works is that maybe in 4 weeks after this patch, maybe? I don't know. It could be like in a month or two, so we'll see. We'll treat it as such that, it's work in progress. So 11.2 is in work in progress, and this is what they're talking about, the Clash of Courage. The Italian Navy has new destroyers coming in, and it's actually going to be pretty good. The Clash of Courage works similar to the New Year's event, and also the Aircraft Bureau's Rivalry and the Battle of the Beasts event. So that's actually pretty interesting. They got nice camos, but insignias and badges and stuff, and it's actually pretty good. It looks pretty good, overall. They got some nice destroyers and layouts and things like that going on. I love the way how they done, like, with the Italian flag with the planes there. But yeah, it is actually pretty interesting to see how this event unfolds. I assume it's like the same idea like we did before, just grind to get the captains and stuff you wanted, and it's going to be interesting lead up for the St. Patrick's Day event as well. The Belfast and Belfast 43 will get a unique camo, which looks like this, which looks pretty hot, So I know that a particular streamer would love this. Combine Kalito would love, the commander and the patch and everything, and gotta love the Irish. But yeah, definitely I'll be drinking a Guinness for that sort of event. And the Rogue Wave is basically the rusty battlefields of the post-apocalypse are back, and basically fighting a team of 3, which is pretty cool. Flying the good rolls, and this is like examples of the camo of the ships that they have, which is pretty nice. And it's pretty cool. And here's the rewards for that. Now the airship drop missions will be coming in as well. It's coming in the near future. Looks like a new map. or new port. Just new visual effects. That's cool. But there's new camo coming out for the Ragnar. Oh, that looks pretty nice. But yeah, that's actually pretty cool. That looks pretty cool. But special flags as well. And improvements of visual effects. And okay. For the main and secondary guns, depth charges. Hotspot, North, Greece, and on Ice Islands. Okay. Explosion of aircraft on deck when the aircraft carrier is destroyed. The effect of receiving super container rain. Wow, man. So that looks pretty cool. Wow. The level of detail. Holy crap. They really are pushing out the level of detail on that. That's unreal. I'll do it again. But that's just unreal. Look at that, lightning striking down the island with the ocean in the distance, and look at the special effects on that thing. The art department in World of Warships have really come out swinging with this. But yeah, that's awesome. Look at that. Smoke. Look at that. That's just unreal. That is simply brilliant. Shooting looks impressive. And it's showing like how much it's improving ever since. Yep. That's just, that's just beautiful. The level of detail, the water, the gun effects, and everything. Also CVs. Oh wow, look at that. That looks pretty cool. You know what they could have done there is actually have like aircraft explode and actually fall off the side. Like I'll just rewind a little bit, but see like that for example. Just imagine they explode, but the aircraft falls off the side of the ocean or something like that. That actually would have been nice. If they had it done in more level detail beyond that, with the crew abandoning ship, like jumping out abandoning ship, that'll be actually pretty nice as well too. So actually it's not a bad thing. It really isn't. But it looks actually pretty good. It's not final, but it's still in development stages. Now, French cruisers. Sorry about this, but French cruisers, finally. French cruisers, it's actually going to be interesting. They have been added into the game for testing. And honestly, I think we're getting more croissants out there on the battlefield. Croissants. To be honest with you, there's a lot of French wine involved in this conversation. Simply because there's so many things going on in this. And all I can say is that The new French cruisers will be researchable very soon in 11.2. But yeah, it's actually, these are super cruisers. Super heavy cruisers. Wow. Similar to the Dunkirk class, but they are definitely a good warship to play on. So you got the Cherbourg, which is tier 8. The Brest at tier 9. Also the Marseille at tier 10. And the French cruiser Toulon at tier 7 will also be out as well. And it'll be a premium warship to play with. But all these ships, like have a bit of a history. That they were planning to use these ships back in the lead up for 1920s and 1930s. But it's interesting to see how it pans out. Some of these ships have entered the service in back in 1914-15 in terms of like the idea, the concept, and everything about it. But read this very carefully because this is a very interesting article by the 1930s that the French Navy have virtually no history of naming its capital ships after cities. So that's actually pretty funny. But it's actually pretty good though. It's actually pretty nice. So definitely that'll be a good read for you there. Now 11.0, jump into that again. We got the closed test going on for the Ditto, the Canarius. They're both getting updated as they go. The Atlantico, as well as the Sevastopol and the Curatone, Nazio Suro, and also Turbine, Mastrali and the Aver, and the Luca Tarigo, all very good. The Vittorio Caniberti, the Adriatico, the Atletico Rigo, all are very decent warships. And the FR-25 as well. And obviously, there's been, some ongoing changes made to them. So feel free to read this article and understand what is happening with the consumables, reload time, smoke, dispersion, everything, including the accuracy of the guns. So they definitely are doing a lot of tweaks. I'm also with the repair, control, damage control parties, and injury boosting. So definitely go check it out. It's a very good article to read. 11.2, since the British supercarriers Edgar has been announced, the German battleship Mecklenburg and the Japanese battleship Iwami, they'll be added to the game for testing. So these warships are very nice warships. The German battleship Mecklenburg reminds me of the Kurfürst. So it's actually pretty good. We'll see. I mean, like, it's all work in progress here. But yeah, I mean, like, the tier 9 premium, the Iwami is actually pretty good as well. All of them are pretty nice. I mean, like, this is actually pretty decent, ships and history and everything, so they're definitely coming out swinging. Yeah, that is a lot to take in, but I have to admit, it is a very interesting story to see how things pan out in the World of Warships community for it, and they also have the characteristics of those ships as well too. So folks, I don't know about you, but tell me about your thoughts about it. I have to admit, just by reading all that is pretty long, pretty informative video. I do apologize, but in the video itself, I will put timestamps so that you can skip to certain discussions, as well as links to the actual articles so you can read them at your own time and pace. But yeah, look, big changes coming up in World of Warships this year. So definitely stay tuned to that. Always keep yourself up to date with the dev blogs. I mean, the dev blogs are pretty much, you know, very handy to use for referral. Definitely go check out the blogs. It's the blog.worldofwarships.com. Basically, you can keep yourself up to date and check out these articles and keep yourself going on. Sometimes on the main website, you may not get the right information there because like they'll refer to the actual devlog website anyway, where you keep yourself up to date. So, my friends, thanks for tuning in to this video. If you have any questions or feedback, feel free to put it in the comment in the video. And definitely, you know, thanks again for your support and everything, as this is my first video as a community contributor for World of Warships. Until then, stay safe, take care my friends, and have a good one.